Now at 9, the wait continues. 2 SGA slates prepare for a runoff election. The reaction just ahead.
A plan moving forward for the Delaware County Jail, but not without controversy. A look at what people are saying next.
We had a lot of sunshine today, and we also had temperatures that were a little bit below average. Not for the rest of the week, but definitely in this weekend. We're going to have a cold snap. I will have more coming up in my full forecast.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being with us. I'm Marley Thomas.
And I'm Camille Breck. Student Government Association voting ended today, and the results are in.
In this SGA election, there was a runoff. NewsLink Indiana's Alicia Bonarcha has been following the story and has more.
Hi, Camille. Hi, Marley. So, SGA voting ended today around 5 p.m. No slate was able to gather the majority of the vote. Now, what does that mean for the 2019 SGA election? There will be a runoff election between the two slates of Empower and Elevate. Elevate had 970 votes, while Empower had 892. The third slate, United, ended their campaign journey. We were there at each of the slates' watch parties earlier today to capture the responses to the results as they waited patiently for that one phone call today.
One of the other two, probably Elevate, didn't get 40 or 50, so they could have gotten 49.
Presidential candidate for Empower, Julian Zimmerman, gets the call.
Hello?
So I was like, oh my gosh. She said, congratulations, Empower's received enough votes to move on to the runoff election. I was like, oh, I thought you said enough votes to win. But we're happy to still be here. It's much better to hear that than a loss. But we were all really anxious to take the call.
Hello, this is Jake.
Waiting for that call for some was unfortunate tonight.
So, unfortunately, we just found out that we got third place. There will be a runoff between Empower and Elevate, but we will not be participating. The line ends here for us.
In the interest of transparency, we do want to mention that Cameron DeBlasio served as NewsLink Indiana's assistant news director from January 2018 to December 2018. And currently he contributes to the Wednesday night Immersion show.
Yeah, I think it's very exciting to see that our campaign will be able to continue. It's even more exciting to know that our slate was the slate that got the most votes from this first portion of the election.
Now here are some important dates to mark on your calendar for the runoff. March 11th, the all-slate debate will take place at 6 p.m. in the Student Center Ballroom. The runoff election voting will begin on the 18th and will continue to the 19th. And on the 19th, SGA will announce the runoff election winner. With United out of the race of the campaign, their campaign manager, Andy Hoffman, is now endorsing Elevate. This was confirmed in a tweet sent to Cameron DeBlasio. DeBlasio says he is looking forward to working with United BSU.
All righty. Thank you so much, and we will continue to follow all of that.
Yeah, and the two slates plan to campaign after they get back from spring break up until voting ends on the 19th.
Be sure to stay tuned to NewsLink Indiana for your SGA election coverage in the following weeks. The Delaware County Council voted 4-3 Tuesday on an agreement to move forward with a new jail. The community met to discuss their opinions on whether they want to turn the former Wilson Middle School into a new county jail. NewsLink Indiana's Annie Keister shows us a heated moment as some voice their opinions.
Tuesday's meeting for a new jail was interrupted as a group against the $45 million project protested just moments before the vote. The board heard from speakers both for and against this plan, which will have had enough space for 500 inmates, upgrading from the current jail's capacity of a little more than 200. Nate Rose, a volunteer for Person First Harm and Education Coalition, says that he does not feel the vote represented the overall opinion of the people.
You know, we kind of had a plan that if they're not gonna represent the people, we're at least gonna make them hear us. So that's what we're doing out here today.
Rose's group has held 2 forums for supporters on both sides to meet and discuss their opinions on the plan. County Councilman Scott Alexander, who voted against the plan, says that it was the cost that steered his vote, but he still sees a number of positives within it.
You know, ultimately, it's a good plan. I felt like it needed some more work.
For some, the potential benefits of the plan are not enough.
What we saw here today was a lack of imagination.
While some say this is a lack of imagination, Sheriff Tony Skinner says the current jail is a crisis situation. In Muncie, Annie Keister, NewsLink, Indiana.
The current Delaware County Jail was built in 1992. The county will be using economic development income tax dollars or EDIT funds to complete the project. Now, we did see a little bit of sunshine today, but it was still awfully cold outside.
It was, but I think for spring break you're going somewhere warm, right?
I know. I leave Saturday.
So you're going to get to escape the cold. Morgan, what can you tell us?
Yes, if you're going to be staying here in Muncie, unfortunately, you're not going to really be escaping any cold. But right now, highs for today, here in Muncie, we hit 36 as our highs, just a little bit below average of our current average at 44 degrees. Now down in Bloomington, they heated up to 51. I'm a little jealous down there. But all across the campus today, we saw a lot of sunshine. We can see on the past 10 hours, just a lot of clear blue skies and sunshine. It was definitely a good day today. But going overnight, we're going to be seeing temperatures go down to around 28, 27 degrees, but I will have more coming up on the coldness in my full forecast coming up just after the break.
In breaking news, just into our newsroom, 2 new cases of sexual misconduct reported on campus. In an email sent to students, the university says a case of fondling happened Sunday in an on-campus residence hall. The other case was sexual assault in an on-campus apartment. In both cases, the suspects were known to the victims. If you have any information on either of these cases, you're encouraged to call Ball State Police.
State troopers are investigating the death of a woman outside her home in Daleville last night. Crews were called to the 8300 block of South State Road 67 just before 9. Police say 44-year-old Tanya M. Borton, who was living at the home, was found unresponsive by family members. An autopsy did not give the exact cause of death. Toxicology reports are pending. Investigators do not suspect foul play.
And for 30 years, one man has looked through a window a little differently. Just ahead, we introduce you to his unique form of art.
Plus, a new champion in an unusual competition. That and more on the way. Stay with us.
No more. He didn't mean it.
No more. She seems fine to me.
No more. Not my problem.
No more. She was drunk.
No more. He was drunk.
No more. She was asking for it.
No more. He didn't mean it.
No more. Why didn't she tell anyone? No more. We don't talk about that.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. For the first time in school history, Muncie Community School students are presenting to the school board.
NewsLink Indiana's Zoe Dwiggins joins us live in the newsroom to show who these students are and what they want. Zoe?
Marlene and Camille, good evening. After the presentation was postponed at the last school board meeting, the Student Advisory Board did decide to share their thoughts tonight since they were able to. The first idea the 7 students came up with is to make start times later for Muncie Central High School, and Advisory Board member George Schaefer says this would benefit students' sleep schedules and their mental health. And the students also want Muncie Central to implement block scheduling. This would give students the opportunity to take more classes each year. And finally, the Student Advisory Board is advocating for e-learning days as a method to make up snow days. Now, MCS Board President Jim Williams is offering the Advisory Board a chance to work with Emergency Manager Steve Edwards on his recommendations for the school system. Williams also invited the students back in April. Live in the newsroom, Zoe Dwiggins, NewsLink, Indiana.
Thank you, Zoe. We will continue to update you on the Student Advisory Board's progress.
It's a historic art form that you wouldn't normally think twice about. Window painting has been happening since they developed glass.
NewsLink Indiana's Christian Saber introduces us to a man who has been bringing joy for the last 30 years.
Picking up paint, applying it to a wall, something that is considered normal for many. Well, it's became known as a Muncie tradition, something that Mancino's owner Jeff Carrington didn't know what to do when he was pitched the idea.
He confronted and came to me. It was kind of like, you do what? You're going to paint my windows? Kind of one, okay, crazy guy, what are you doing?
Carrington has owned the restaurant since 2007 and bought on to the idea after seeing what the holiday creator of Worlds was able to do. His works all vary, from bringing frosting to life to kids making an ice cream cone on the windows of Mancino's. Painting that frosty last year brought Ron Davis, the creator, joy.
That old wisdom, and it is true. I guess I do make things come to life.
Davis says that he wouldn't have gone into the art of window painting during the holidays if it wasn't for the woman that got him interested. Julie Kirk noticed a similar spirit.
So I circled back and went back and grabbed a cup of coffee, and I was sitting back on a chair watching her, and she finally just looked at me and she goes, "You want to learn how to do this."
Davis has taken Kirk's advice and ran with it. He has received invitations from around the Great Lakes, but will never leave Muncie.
And it's not, I'm not bragging on myself. People tell me this. You know, you better paint Muncie.
For the foreseeable future, Davis will continue to paint Muncie's windows. In Muncie, Christian Saber, NewsLink, Indiana.
The one location that Davis may consider leaving Muncie for is the White House. However, still be on the lookout for Davis's holiday work this fall.
The Black Student Association is celebrating Black History Month in an exclusive way. Their annual month of events helps recognize the achievements of African Americans in the United States and on Ball State's campus. There is an event every day ranging from an escape room to a soul food festival and so much more. BSA's president, Kiara Williams, believes this month is important for spreading their message.
Although we should be celebrating our Blackness all throughout the year, it's really important that we have a monumental time frame where people all across America and all across the world recognize Black people and their importance in history. It's really important that we continue to notice them, recognize them, and kind of savor that time.
As February comes to a close, there are a few events left. Tomorrow is Wild and Out. It is expected to bring over 200 people to Pruis Hall.
Tonight's basketball halftime show featured some new faces. The 4th edition of the Cardinal Dean Shootout took place with students and deans from across campus. Each duo tried to make as many free throws as possible in 30 seconds. The team that made the most baskets is crowned champion. For the first time, the College of Architecture and Planning took home the trophy. The winning duo says they only prepared for 20 minutes, but were still ready to compete.
Up to it, I was like, nah, everyone's going down. It doesn't matter. And then we started warming up, and I said, oh, no, everyone's really good. And then I got on the court, and I just did what I could. I did all that I could do.
We'll have much more on the basketball game coming up in sports. So Morgan, what do you have for us in weather?
Yes, right now we are experiencing wind chill temperatures 28 degrees right now in Muncie, 25 in Indianapolis, but I'll have more of my full weather just coming up in a little bit.
For those who serve today and those who served before them, for those whose sacrifice will never end, the Gary Sinise Foundation shows its gratitude through entertainment, outreach, and life-changing support. We can never give enough, but we can always give a little more. Find out how you can donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Sometimes there's no do-over. Some things you can't rewind. That's when an extra safety step could mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. Learn more at poolsafely.gov.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back. So I'm really hoping that with spring break coming, maybe we'll get some spring break weather too.
Hopefully. Morgan, what do you have for us?
Yes, if you're sticking around for spring break, I don't have the best news for you in store. But, you know, for the rest of the week, we should be experiencing some milder conditions. Right now, we can see on our current shot down here in Muncie, we are at 29 degrees now. We are at feels like 20 with that wind just coming from the east-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Now, all around the state, we are feeling just in these cooler temperatures, 33 down in Shelbyville, a little bit warmer down in Bloomington, 37 and 29 up in Lafayette. Now, overnight, we are going to be dropping down to our low of 27 degrees. That east-northeast wind still maintaining about 5 to 10 miles per hour. We're going to be gradually getting a little bit cloudier overnight. You can see these clouds move in. And then going into tomorrow in the early afternoon hours, we could see a spotted shower or two, but nothing too much. We're going to be dry for the rest of the day, just mainly cloudy skies for that part. Now going into tomorrow, we will be heating up to our high of 45, but starting at 8 a.m. we're going to be at 31 degrees, and then going to noon, 42 with that partly cloudy conditions. Now we could see some spotted showers again early afternoon. Now by 5 p.m. we should be dropping down to about 40 degrees. Now for the next 6 to 10 days, if you're sticking around here for spring break, we are going to be way below average, which is not exciting for the most part, but this should be our last hopeful cold snap before spring really does take over. And now speaking of spring, we are not too far away. Spring begins on March 20th. We are about 22 days away. And I know this is exciting news, but just check out this 7-day. We do have a cold snap in it. Now going into Thursday, 35 degrees. Now keep in mind our average is 44, so still riding that line between average and not. Partly cloudy skies on that day. Friday, we'll be having some flurries in the morning, 43 degrees. Now on Friday, it is our first day of meteorological spring, so we're getting there. Saturday, we're going to be getting a better chance for snow, mainly in the morning and evening hours, a high of 36. And then on Sunday, we're going to start cooling down a lot. a high of 24 on Sunday. And then going into Monday, we're going to be having partly cloudy conditions. 23 is our high, and 24 on Tuesday with partly cloudy conditions. So 20 degrees below average starting out next week. I know it's not exciting, but hopefully this is the last chance for that.
Yeah, hopefully it's over real quick. And like you said, spring is just right around the corner.
Right around the corner. Keep
Thank
that in
you.
mind.
Thank you so much, Morgan. Now let's head over to sports. We got Ben here with us. Ben, what do you have?
Well, guys, Ball State basketball is looking to break a 2-game losing streak tonight, and how Blackford basketball seniors have gone from losing seasons to competing to sectional titles. Stay tuned.
Isn't this perfect?
It was my pleasure. May I?
Adam, I can't thank you enough for saving me from that sweepstakes scam. I could have lost everything.
It was a classic cat and mouse game. Remember, you never have to pay to play.
You're my hero.
Oh.
After all these years. What's the matter, Adam? Cat got your tongue?
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Ben Shuren with sports. Ball State's men's basketball team is looking to sweep the season series against Toledo tonight in Worthen Arena. The Cardinals have won the past 5 meetings against the Rockets, and then early in the first, Taylor Persons gets the 3 to go. However, the Cardinals are down 16-11. Later, Kyle Mallers receives the inbound pass, misses the 3, but Tajay Teague is right there and he puts it home. Toledo still ahead 37-33. Half ticking down, Taylor Persons gets the trap put on him. However, he escapes, gets it out to Zach Gunn, who knocks down the 3. However, Toledo takes a 41-36 lead at the half. Rockets would hold on to win 80-72. Ball State heads north to Kalamazoo next to take on Western Michigan on Saturday. Well, Blackford basketball program has flipped the script these past 2 seasons, finishing above 500 both years. Blackford seniors recall the days of losing and how far the team has come. NewsLink Indiana's Blake Dollier has the story.
They always say that patience is a virtue, and that saying has held especially true for the Blackford boys basketball team the past few seasons. The Blackford Bruins are led by the leading scorer in Indiana, Luke Brown. But what often goes unheard of is the story of Blackford before Brown. After losing 72 out of 73 games from 2014 to 2016, including 61 straight, Blackford's recent success holds that much more significance to their seniors.
You know, it makes it more a little sentimental, I think, just because, you know, you went through those hard times and, you know, you had those lows, but now you're on the high, so it's good that we're leaving on a good note.
That transition is one that has taught these student athletes about not only the game of basketball, but the game of life.
I mean, it's a transition that I'll never forget. It's one that probably the best learning experience I've ever had in sports and athletics, and that I can transfer into life.
In a sectional featuring the #1 team in the state, Delta High School, Blackford looks to send a message to the world. Not to count them out just yet.
From the very beginning, we gotta come out here. We have to knock down our shots. We have to be prepared for how they're going to play. I mean, they're a good team, but we're a good team. So, I mean, we have a shot. We're just going to have to play a good game. We're going to have to play our game. We're going to have to play Blackford basketball.
Friday night, this Blackford boys basketball team will have a shot at a sectional championship for the first time since 1991. In Newcastle, Blake Dollier, NewsLink, Indiana.
And after our first round bye, Blackford will face the winner of Delta and Yorktown Friday evening in Newcastle at 8. Ball State softball finished up the Silicon Valley Classic Sunday with a win over Montana, and it came with a milestone. Head coach Megan Scioli-Bartlett won her 100th game as the manager of the Cardinals. Scioli-Bartlett became the 5th coach in program history to reach the 100-win mark. Scioli-Bartlett said that there was no better way to celebrate her accomplishment than with her team.
I didn't know. But after the girls told me what they were jumping around so excited about, it was really cool. I think just to see the excitement on their faces was probably the coolest thing about it.
Ball State softball will head to Florida for spring break, taking part in the USF Clearwater Invitational this weekend. And guys, I talked to the softball team this weekend, and they've only been outside for half of practice. I bet they cannot wait to get in the Florida sunshine.
Oh my gosh, I bet they can't either. They're ready to be there.
Absolutely. Coming up, changes are on the way for Netflix.
What you need to know up next in Trending.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener and loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. When I think of kids going to school hungry, hunger, homelessness, in this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
Welcome back. Now it's time to take a look at what's trending.
Joining us now is NewsLink Indiana's Katie McLaughlin. What do you have for us?
Yes, guys, so I have some exciting news. And with a new month right around the corner, Netflix is upgrading their content. The popular streaming site has released the list of what we can see in March. So from Netflix original sequels and new releases of movies, Netflix is sure to bring some new binge-worthy shows for everyone. With chick flicks like The Notebook coming on March 1st to new movies like Disney's Christopher Robin releasing March 5th, there will be a large variety of genres added. However, we do have to say goodbye to some of our favorites starting on March 1st.
No, I don't want to say goodbye to them.
I know.
Alrighty, thank you, Katie. Now, Morgan. One last look at
weather. We just have just some mild conditions for the next couple of days, and then this weekend we are returning to a cold snap. So if you're sticking around, keep out those hats, gloves, and jackets. You're definitely going to need them.
That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana.
Be sure to join us tomorrow for our midday show, streaming us live on NewsLink Indiana's Facebook page. And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.